Laurie and I are in the truck and we're driving to the Urban Farm Oasis, which is a little store in Berkeley. It's the only store we know locally that sells beekeeping supplies. And normally I buy all that stuff online, but right now I need to buy some because it's been such a interesting month of beekeeping. The beekeeping season started about a month early in California's Bay Area where we live. And I always do what I can to try to prevent swarms, split hives, but in spite of my best efforts, last week I had one of my own hives swarm, then another, and now I've had 6. And so I have way too many hives in my backyard. I just live in a suburban neighborhood, and so I need to move some of those. I have a second location, which is in Castro Valley, out at a farm, and so I will be moving some. I had to run to Urban Farm Oasis to get some foundations for my frames, and I've got them now. One of the biggest things with beekeeping is taking care of frames, and you're constantly cleaning frames, storing frames. You need to probably sterilize them by either boiling them or freezing them. And then when the new season comes, you need to put wax foundation in frames. So today I'm going to build some frames and put some foundations in. So you can take a look here. See the process of building frames. We've got a party going on back here, and they've been doing karaoke all day, probably since like 10 a.m. It was really fun. It was actually just brought a smile to my face. It was fun just to be outside and listen to them. And there seems to be a full-on birthday party going. Sounds like a lot of fun. We can glue several at once. And what I'm going to do is I'll first assemble them and then I'll start stapling them. So it's been an interesting week because my uncle passed away this week. Interesting in a sad way. You might know that beekeeping is my hobby, not my profession, and I'm a pastor. So we're going through the book of John, and in the book of John, as Jesus is getting ready to be crucified, he takes his disciples to have a Passover meal together, and he's sharing like all of his last words with them, you know, kind of like parents that are dropping their kids off to college. They're like, oh, and you know, choose good friends and stay safe, and you got to make sure you eat some vegetables, not just pizza. And Jesus is kind of doing that with his disciples. He's telling them all the most important things that he doesn't want them to forget. And he says, I'm the vine and you're the branches. Remain in me, remain in my love, remain in my commands, and you'll bear much fruit. Jesus is really serious about us bearing fruit with our lives. Remember the story of the parable of the talents? It was the same kind of thing. He was talking about doing something with our lives. So I've been thinking a lot about that as I'm preparing a sermon about it for tomorrow. So we're almost done with assembling them. And this will be 10 frames in a box. I don't know if you can hear the karaoke back there, but it's pretty fun. 2 more. And then we'll start stapling, and that's the fun bit. Speaking of fruitfulness, the bees are incredibly fruitful this year. I've talked a little bit about that, how they're making a ton of honey and they're swarming and everything. Scientists have studied honeybees, and they actually get a little dopamine kick when they come back to the hive with nectar and pollen. They love it. So they're not our slaves. In fact, you know, good beekeepers make sure to leave the bees plenty of honey. And I leave them honey, not sugar water, honey, because it's what they need, in my opinion. So we've got these done. I'm gonna show you what the foundations look like. I mentioned those. This is wired commercial wax foundation. I also make my own. I made quite a bit today, and I use a lot of my own in the Honey Supers, but this is just a lot more stable and easier and faster. So these foundations have a little wood strip, which I just break off, boom, and then I can put the wired foundation in and staple it in, and it stays in because it has hooks. So I bought some like this from that Urban Farm Oasis, but these particular ones are ones that I bought from Man Lake. It's a beautiful day to be outside. The birds are going for it. Spring day, April 12th. Arrived here at Heirloom East Bay, and we've got about 6 hives in the back to move, and Cameron is here and he's helping me, which is fantastic. He's just bulldozed this area, and so it's really fantastic. It's a great spot where the sun hits. That we're going to put the hives right here. The sun hits early in the morning, so I'm excited. It's a great spot for the bees. There's so many trees out here, there's got to be forage. I think this is going to be a good spot for them. I hate moving bees because they don't like to be moved. But this is a good solution. Too many bees in the backyard. Yesterday was Sunday, and actually I'd asked Laurie to help team preach with me. So the two of us did like tag team, and it was pretty fun. And then we got home, and there was another swarm. So I think that's number 9. And so we boxed them up. I've got 6 hives here in the back of the truck that we're going to put on these stands. And so it's a good day. We've leveled the area and put the hives in, and now is the really great part that we get to let the bees, and they're probably going to shoot out like coming out of the stall here. As soon as they realize they're shut in, they don't like it. So I'm always working as fast as I can, and they're going to orient themselves now. They're going to do like little figure 8s in front of the hive to learn the area that they're in, and then they're going to start foraging around here and gathering nectar and pollen, which is great. All right. Well, that could not have gone better. When I got there, Cameron was there, and I had forgotten the shovel and the rake to help me level the area, and he helped me, and I really appreciate his help. Bees responded really well. They did fine in transit as far as I could tell, and they were happy to get out when I let them out to see the area.